right, Lendio, here we go. My name is Todd Rogenthien. I'm 48 years old. I live in Austin, Texas, and my business is Media Masters. And this is my Lendio story. Media Masters is a company that provides small businesses, nonprofits, and corporations video marketing content to either use in broadcast or on the web. Call me a small business owner, call me self-employed, call me a contractor, call me a freelancer, a 1099er, you name it. I'm out here all on my own. I chose to move my life in this direction in 2013 after 20 years working in local news, working every holiday and every shift you possibly can. I wanted to be able to give my son more of my time and have more control over my income. Well, COVID certainly kicked that idea to the curb, didn't it? But COVID was no match for Lendio. Let me break this down for you in terms you can understand. This is my experience before Lendio and after Lendio. One more time. Before Lendio and after Lendio. Okay, you got the point? I guess we're done here. Well, not so fast. And immediately I panicked. That same day, the customer emailed asking for a refund on their deposit, and then the questions started coming in from clients who had projects on the books for the next 2 months. Those projects also went away. Then the city issued their stay-at-home orders, and suddenly our video production business was stuck in the four walls of my home. If you can't get out in the field to produce videos, how are you going to produce videos? I tried to pivot and start producing some things remotely, but that really just wasn't paying the bills the same way working on a broadcast commercial would. Before COVID, business as usual. After COVID, there was a real fear as to what the next 2 to 3 months was going to look like. I had no income for the foreseeable future, and I actually started to look online for jobs outside of my business. I was going to go look for work and leave the self-employment behind for the first time in 7 years. And it was at that point that my son came to me and offered me his $3,000 in cash, in savings that he has in his safe deposit box, and said, "Dad, you can have this in order to get us through." And while that broke my heart, I was relieved about that same time that the SBA announced the Paycheck Protection Program. I was finally feeling some relief, and I saw some light finally in the darkness. The part that became scarier was actually applying for the program with my bank that I had been with since I opened up the business in 2013. I wrote Facebook post after Facebook post after Facebook post about my experience with my bank and the SBA. I won't get into details, but what I will say is that I was denied twice, and I was left to feel like I wasn't important enough. No contact, no care, just a whole lot of nothing. I felt abandoned by my bank. It was at this point that a friend reached out and told me to apply with Lendio. After submitting the application, I received a confirmation email, and it was about a week later that I was connected with Cross River Bank. Best thing about Cross River is that they worked with people like me, sole proprietors, freelancers, contractors. They understood that this isn't some sort of cookie cutter fix for large corporations. The little guy was actually protected, and Lendio and Cross River Bank understood this. I checked my bank account on a Friday morning, and the money was there. And suddenly, for the first time in a long time, I felt overwhelming joy. And so these funds were going to get me through this window where I, in essence, really couldn't do my job. Without Lendio and without Cross River, I would not have made it through this, and I would have been working at that grocery store stocking shelves overnight. So let's talk about what happened after I got the funds. I realized that this was an opportunity afforded to me to give back. So I focused on my church, my son's middle school, and my son's future high school. And we did several projects with the three of them.
It's okay to smile.
In receiving the money, I was able to work with these organizations that ordinarily wouldn't have the funds to get video marketing content. The corporate clients and the business clients were holding on to their budgets or slashing their budgets because they didn't know what was going to happen in the future. So this money that came from Lendio and Cross River was almost like a fund for these nonprofits because they were getting content that they wouldn't otherwise get. And they were getting it for free from me because this money was allowing me to do that. And in turn, I was bringing a ton of joy and happiness to people at my church and in my school community and my son's future school community. But most importantly, what I did was reach out to a still photographer friend who wasn't able to get PPP, but was also in the same boat as me. I had seen an article online about the Front Steps Project, and I approached my friend about this idea and decided that we would do something a little different. I would help her market this idea of going around her neighborhood on her nightly walk to take pictures and portraits of families. In exchange, they would make donations to a local nonprofit called Hope Austin. And in doing so, she would make contacts with future potential clients, but also they'd be smiling on camera and they'd have a little bit of joy in their life, if just for a moment. They'd have a reason to get out of their sweatpants. They'd have a reason to brush their hair for the first time in a long time. And so I helped her market this and helped her create videos to help market this. So in the end, Lendio and Cross River didn't just help me, they helped organizations and families and friends throughout this community. Because I paid it forward, it'll come back to me in the end once things start to get back to normal. And I could not be more appreciative to Lendio and Cross River for helping me get through the process, because my bank was not there for me, and organizations like Lendio and Cross River were, and I didn't even have a relationship with them. And in the end, truly, they saved me.